Hello everyone, if you couldn't tell by the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about Scratch. So what is Scratch? Scratch is a tool both online and it has its own software made by MIT which does block coding. And so block coding is basically where you just take blocks that represent commands and then you just run them as if you were running actual commands. And so Scratch has a lot of pros and cons. I think it's overall fairly good for specifically new programmers, but it's not all that great for returning programmers. And it has so many pros and cons to cover, so I'll cover a few here, and if you want, I can talk about it more later. So, the first pro and the first con of Scratch is its simplicity. So, it's made so that pretty much anyone can program and make their own programs, which is pretty nice for people who will need to learn, say, how to think when you're programming, such as how to think logically and all that. But the problem with its simplicity is that because of it, it can't really do a whole ton, such as everything is linked up with sprites, so you can't have something run individually. You can't run file management, data management, dynamic coding, all that stuff, because it's so simple, and that's complex. And so, another part of Scratch that has to do with its simplicity is the content that is on Scratch. So, say you search something up and play a random thing. It's likely not going to be all that great, and there is a reason behind it. So because Scratch is so simple, there are so many people using it, and basically anyone can use it, make their own stuff, and upload it. And because of this, you get a lot of junk that kind of shrouds out the things that are good, and honestly, sometimes it can be kind of entertaining how bad it is. So, I am guilty of making some junk, or at least weird things, but I feel that there's junk that isn't purposely junk like I have, like I made Sharknado Simulator. But overall, the stuff isn't all that great. So another con of Scratch is the speed. So it runs really unreliably, such as when you have, say, an animation that's supposed to run at a specific time, it can run 0.4 seconds off, which doesn't sound like much, but is a lot for a computer. So C is fast. Java is slower compared to C, but it's still fairly fast. JavaScript is slow compared to other programming language and if JavaScript is slow, Scratch is pain. It runs things really slowly because of how it works. Instead of running the blocks by compiling them into normal commands and then running the normal commands, it goes through and interprets each block on its own, which makes it really, really slow. So say if I make an infinite loop, then when I change it while it's running, it shouldn't do anything, theoretically, but it will change it because of how it works. So, that's it for today. So, Scratch, overall, I think it's pretty good if you're starting programming. I would still recommend learning a simple language like BASIC or Java's a nice one to learn, but Scratch is a good place to teach younger children how to think programming ways. And overall, it is kind of useful and can be fun to play around with. So, hope you like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And the Nerd Next Door is out.